We need to find out. We need to find out who made that call, because I talked to the birdies down at the TV station, and they told me they under the impression they could make it to halftime. So I don't know who made the call. I don't know if it was. I think it's the NFL who does it.
Don't you have to hear lightning once or see something?
See it within a distance.
I never even saw any lightning. Did it ever rain? Actually rain at the stadium? I left at the break. I'm with Fred. I had to run to the door, man.
Yeah, I was inside.
It rained a little, but not poured.
Yeah.
It never poured. No.
You know, that last collective bargaining agreement, the last CBA, the last 2011, a lot of the rules changed.
Okay.
The game got a little softer, right? We got to protect the players. We got to protect everyone.
Yeah.
And now the rain delays are thinking the same thing. And I'm all for fan safety.
Sure.
Fans don't care about their safety.
They're ready to rock, man. We got momentum.
Football.
We just scored a touchdown. Let's go. And all of a sudden.
Yeah, man.
We're leaving the field, ladies and gentlemen. We have a weather emergency.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, we don't care. And I know my Jacksonville people. They want it now. They don't care about no lightning.
Nope.
They outside playing around in the lightning anyway. Jeez.
Well, what did you make? What did you make of Etienne? I mean, let's just get right to it. What a performance.
Yeah, much needed by Travis. Obviously, it's been a lot of chatter in the off season, as far back as last season. You know, wondering if he lost the step. You know, all that different stuff. And I think this was something where Travis, look, put a little respect on my name. You know, I'm still here. I still can play. It's about opportunity. The line I thought played well up front. Having kept, Trevor clean throughout the day, no sacks. So the line played well there in the pass game. And then when you look at the run game, 200 yards to go along with the 0 sacks. Man, I think they all deserve a game ball to open this season. But just to touch back on Etienne, big play there with a 71-yarder, great move. I thought throughout the course of the game, I ran over to Brian maybe 3 or 4 different occasions, like, hey, the cutback is there. When are they going to take it? When are they going to take it? And he finally took it with a nice jump cut, nice move on the safety defender, and then he was off to the races. They'll probably give him a little ribbing or joking. They'll mess with him, teasing a little bit in the meetings today because a linebacker kind of caught him from the back. Something you never saw on a Fred Taylor highlight film, but
that's for sure. Fred, you may have answered the question as I was going to phrase it, but if you had to define Etienne's effort yesterday, was it more due to a better game plan and a better offensive line, or was it more due to him perhaps being healthier and a little twitchier, quicker than he has been the last couple of years, or a combo? If you could parse it out. Percentage-wise or otherwise?
I mean, it's a combination of all of the above. Obviously, there's a ton of work that goes into the week of game prep, and a lot of times we discredit the running game prep. But in order to have a great passing game outcome, the running game has to be there. Like, you have to kind of let it marry up to each other, like from a play-action point of view. So a lot of plays have to look the same so you can strategically play. You can play chess, and set things up, set the pass up off the run and set the run up off the pass. And I thought it looked really well yesterday with the motions, the reverse, the fake reverses, all that different stuff. Just looked seamless yesterday. So shout out to Coach Cohen and the way he put together the offensive packages, this offensive script this week. And now the line, again, they play well. I saw some lanes in there. I saw a few chances where I did see some cutbacks that were missed. But, again, those guys could have been coached by Chad so well to keep the play home more so than chasing the cutback. And then your ability has to take over, and you have to see that. So those are the moments when I tell my young running backs I'm going to get all of them cut one day, because I always tell them, look, when you're on the field, you're the CEO. Don't worry about what the coach says. And I say it in front of the coach so he can know how I feel about it. Like, hey, look, you can coach me so much, but in the game, I ain't thinking. I'm just going, man. And I ain't got time for all that other stuff. So, but, they got to their lanes, man. They made it happen. And I don't know how much of it was due to a lack of discipline by the Panthers, and that doesn't matter today. What matters is they were very effective. They got it done. It looked beautiful, and we're 1-0.
Amen. Amen. Talking with Fred Taylor, 4 running backs all played yesterday, all had moments. That's hard to do, and it's going to be hard to keep. I mean, listen, I guess you just, you sort of build a pecking order, and if the one guy's not getting it done, maybe you go to the 2 guy. If the 2 guys not getting done, it's interesting how this will unfold throughout the season, don't you think?
Yeah, very much. What was surprising was that LeQuint Allen Jr. was there on every third down. Like he was like the third down back. Maybe because he's bigger, they're looking at pass protection possibly. So to see him get a few handoffs before 2, and that was rather surprising to me, considering he was drafted a bit later. But again, I don't know the mix. I don't know the thought process coming out of the running back room, what the coaches, what the offensive mindset is in terms of their rotation. But it's going to be hard to sustain that throughout the course of the year. But what it will do is, if nothing else, every guy will remain ready because they just don't know when their shot is their shot, right?
Right.
So you're going to keep them all focused and ready to play because you can't be sleeping at the wheel when your number's called because now you're giving away opportunities.
Look, I don't know how good Carolina is. The last time they took the field in a regular season game, they went to Atlanta in a game that the Falcons needed to win to make the playoffs, and they beat them 44-38. Now, some personnel has changed, obviously, and they didn't look real good yesterday, but I take a little comfort, Fred, from this. I mean, I felt like the Jaguars dominated the game for the most part, and still could have played better. Had 11 penalties, had to kick 4 field goals. There's plenty to clean up, yet at the same time, you have a comfortable victory. Is there anything to be said about maybe, how strong an effort that is?
I mean, I think there's a lot to be said about the overall team performance, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've been, kind of chipping away at how well the offense played, talking about the line, talking about Travis Etienne. We didn't the play of the defense in their efforts. The turnovers that they were able to create, where they have 8 in all of last year, and yesterday they came away with 3. Should have been 4, but Jay Lou, who ended up with the game-closing interception,
yes,
his holding on a receiver negated a beautiful run back and return for Anthony Wingert on the pick 6, and his return from injury. So I was like, come on, man, you got to give him that. Give him your ball. Give him your interception ball. But I think overall, led by Foye Oluokun, to be able to secure an interception off the first PVU by J-Lou, and then we were able to go down and put up 7 points. And then later on, the forced fumble by Foye turned into points, turned into another 3 points. So here you saw an opportunity. You saw defense playing well. They harassed Bryce Young for the majority of the game. Didn't come away with a ton of sacks, but the harassment and the pressure was there. Flushed him out of pocket. I know they'll go back and watch the tape and say, hey, we can't lose contain because we could have held these guys under 100 yards rushing. The quarterback had almost 40 due to losing some contain there on a few force out due to pressures. So defense played well. They were opportunistic, got the ball back to the offense. Excuse me. The offense actually went back down and capitalized on those turnovers. So, again, total team effort across the board.
Mm-hmm.
Minus the penalties, which were, for me, effort penalties more than just bust, careless penalties. And I explained it on post-game radio yesterday throughout the preseason. To start the preseason, we had a false start on the very first play of the preseason.
Right.
We had 12 men in the huddle on a field goal throughout the preseason. Yesterday was some holding calls, which a lot of times can be effort. You don't want to see them,
right?
But for the most part, they can come across as effort plays. The only penalty I didn't like yesterday was the delay of game that changed the field goal.
Yes.
There. You go from the 48 you push yourself back on the other side of the 50. But we were able to connect down the middle to De'Ami Brown the very next play.
Yeah, that kicker's a weapon too. By the way, he got 4 for 4 yesterday.
Yeah. Punter too.
You know, if you
55 a punt,
you know, if you get the ball to midfield, you got a shot. I mean, it's a great
and that's
feeling.
What it was, guys.
Yeah.
That's what I think we were on the 48 on our side.
Yeah.
Called a timeout, and then you have the 5-yard delay of game pushed us back on the other side, on the Jaguar side of the field. Still in field goal range. It was a 70-yarder.
Yeah.
You know, from a 64, 65 to a 70. You're like, okay, we've seen this. Right?
Was anybody suspicious that they were doing it to give him a shot at the records? You would never do that in a regular season game.
I was suspicious.
Right? I mean, I hear you. It was a little easy to be suspicious. All right, Fred, just a quick. We don't know a ton, but we know what the Bengals are typically, and that's a team that's going to stress you with the passing game. But Cleveland, who's, by the way, in fairness to Cleveland, their defense has maintained themselves.
Myles Garrett wrecked a couple drives yesterday.
Yeah, so this is a big opportunity, Fred. It's nice to get this win. You go beat Cincinnati next week, and it's time to start talking about maybe a different ceiling. So first things first, the challenges of winning up there, and why is it that the Bengals seem to start so slow every year? Like you've got the answer for that.
Yeah, no, I wish I had for that. I mean, because I'll give it to the guys, and I know we'll walk away with a win. But it was yesterday for the Bengals and the Browns was quite a sloppy game, in my opinion. The Bengals gave up 3 sacks to a Browns defense who's always great, and then on the other side, Cincinnati was able to secure 2 interceptions from Flacco. Flacco still lit him up for 290 yards passing. They didn't do much on the ground. You have to harass Joe Burrow. The heartbeat of that team is Joe Burrow. If you can get after him and make him uncomfortable, you give yourself a shot. That way he's not getting the ball to the electric Jamar Chase, Triple Crown guy, or even T. Higgins. So if you can do that and replicate what the Browns did yesterday, which was harass Joe Burrow and getting him off his mark. He only had 113 yards passing. Then you give yourself a shot. And the way our defense looked yesterday, they were able to pressure Bryce Young here on different occasions. Didn't come away with a ton of sacks, as I mentioned, but they got him off the mark. And then they kind of buckled down in the run game too as the game progressed. So if the defense can play as well as they play offensively, you want to be able to run the ball versus a Bengals defense that didn't really look great yesterday versus the Browns. Then you give yourself a shot.
Leon Searcy here. Thank you so much for watching 1010XL Jaguars on YouTube. Before you click away, please subscribe to the videos on the channel and be sure to check out our other team-specific channels on 1010XL Network on YouTube.